It's important to know this morning that Israel and Hamas have agreed to extend their ceasefire for at least one more day. That decision to extend that truce came just minutes before it was set to expire and hours after the latest release of hostages, which included an American. The Foreign Ministry of Qatar helped broker that deal, announcing this latest ceasefire was extended under the same terms as the past one. That's 10 Israeli hostages for 30 imprisoned Palestinian women and teenagers. America's Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Tel Aviv, Israel right now. He's expected to meet with the president of Palestine, Mahmoud Abbas. He says the U.S. will focus on extending the ceasefire and getting more aid into Gaza. Here at home, the Louisville Housing Authority, charged with overseeing thousands of public housing units across the city, has a new leader at the helm.
It comes after concerning reports of unsafe living conditions and resident complaints about bed bugs and black mold. The agency's new leader says she plans to fix those problems. WHAS11 senior reporter Isaiah Kim Martinez and photojournalist Jessica Farley have the details.
Community leaders tell me one of their big concerns is that the new LMHA director has yet to visit some of these public housing complexes where we've seen these issues. Now, when we asked the new director about this, she says she plans for that to be the first thing she does when she arrives in Louisville next year.
And that is number one on my list, is to come see it, feel it, experience what people are experiencing. That's extremely important.
Elizabeth Strojan will be faced with problems like those at the Dosker Manor apartments. Seniors living there tell us they're battling mold, bed bugs, and neglect from management.
My reaction is those conditions are not acceptable for people to live in.
Louisville Mayor Craig Greenberg introduced Strojan at a news conference Wednesday. She's set to replace Lisa Osanka. Also in the room for the announcement, she decided to step down following a turbulent end to her time overseeing thousands of public housing units across the city. Residents have accused LMHA of mistreatment. Strojan promising to make change, and she says that starts with more funding. Meanwhile, Chanel Helm, an advocate for those living in poor conditions, says she'll remain skeptical until she sees results.
And we're definitely looking at some sustainable, not just new, not just rehab, but sustainable housing that comes from governmental funds.
Strojan will start in her new role in January of next year. Isaiah Kim Martinez, WHAS 11 on your side.
Mayor Craig Greenberg has committed to creating 15,000 new affordable housing units in Louisville by the end of his first term. A final version of his My Louisville Home strategy is expected to be released next month. For a closer look at some of the properties managed by the Metro Housing Authority, including the apartments at Dosker Manor, you can check out this story on our website, WHAS11.com.
The city's biggest company is rumored to be for sale. The Wall Street Journal reports Humana is in talks with its rival Cigna. That merger would create a new powerhouse in the healthcare industry. The Journal says Humana recently made moves to clear the deck for a merger by getting rid of a key unit. The company also named a new CEO back in October, replacing Bruce Broussard, who'd been running Humana since 2013. He leaves on January 8th. Now, that report also notes a deal could be finalized by the end of this year. This once again raises major questions about the future of the company in Louisville and, of course, its headquarters. Humana has 11,000 employees here.
And Mary Hurst has confirmed a 16-year-old hit and killed on the Gene Snyder 2 weeks ago was one of its residents. The child welfare nonprofit says Ava Simmerly and another girl walked away from the Dorsey Lane campus just before 9 a.m. on November 18th. A release from Mary Hurst says staff tried to find the girls, then notified authorities. LMPD says Simmerly was hit on the Snyder near the Taylorsville Road exit around 7 that night. The other girl is now in state care. In a statement, Mary Hurst said it's heartbroken at the tragic loss. It says it's committed to creating a safe, secure environment, but is not a full security detention facility.
6:05 now, authorities found a gun in a student's backpack at Moore High School. In a letter sent to families, the school's principal said the administration was notified about the weapon Wednesday afternoon. Louisville Metro Police and Jefferson County Public School Police then isolated the student and discovered that firearm. The principal emphasized the school's commitment to safety and said the student will be disciplined in accordance with the JCPS student handbook.
Indiana State Police tell us they have served more search warrants in the investigation involving former Clark County Sheriff Jamie Knoll. He's being investigated for misconduct and theft during his time in office. Knoll was arrested earlier this month on 15 felony counts and is currently out on bond. While an ISP spokesperson wouldn't tell us where the warrants were served, he did say that there were multiple.
Let's talk about the Sherman-Minton Bridge because we
Why
haven't
not?
done that yet. There is another Sherman-Minton closure scheduled for this weekend. I-64 will be shut down starting on Friday night until 6 a.m. Monday morning. All westbound lanes will be closed. Officials suggest drivers use I-265 and I-65 as alternative routes.